be using 8-inch X-Series snap ties. This is a thin tie that goes across between two wall sections. The walls represented by my hands. Okay, first thing I want to show you is an easy way to build out of plain plywood a poured-in-place wall section. What we're going to be doing is we're taking a circular saw with a Freud thin kerf blade. We're going to be slicing into the plywood. If you rent concrete forms, they will be routered out. They use a very small router bit to router out the plywood itself. However, this is a fast, easy way to do it. It works very effectively. The spacing on the plywood itself, I know you can't visualize it too well with it laying on the ground, is kind of up to you. I like 12-inch centers. In this particular case, I'm using 10-inch for a different reason. So what we're doing, this is going to represent the bottom of the wall. This will be standing up in place. These two sheets represent one wall section, about 8 inches apart. I've screwed in a screw here and on the other corner to hold the two sheets in exact alignment. As I said, this is an easy way to do it. So all we're going to be doing is slicing into the surface of the plywood with the blade. The beauty of using this particular system that I'm using right now, you're creating a mirror image. Means that it's perfect. It has to be perfect because when you cut through one sheet, you're marking the second sheet. What I'm going to do now is go through and cut out the rest of the marks I've got. If this represents the bottom of the wall, where the sheet of plywood will be resting on the bottom of the footing, this is 12 inches up to the center, or where these ties are going to be going through. What we're going to do first is go through and cut all the marks that I've got laid out on the plywood. 12 inches, 20 inches to the next part. This is the bottom of the wall. We'll work our way progressively upwards. We do the marks like I've done, the chop marks, all the way along. I'll do that here in just a second. And then we remove this sheet of plywood, stand it up, and finish the cut through on the other sheet, which is going to be perfect. It's exactly marked on the other sheet. That'll fit through quite nicely, and I'll do it now. The reason I didn't go ahead and push the saw blade all the way through both sheets is because you create quite a long cut on the one sheet. You could do it that way. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to cut through too much material. You end up having a cut like this, which will work, but you also have quite a long cut seam where your concrete's going to be pushing from behind. You don't want too much excess room on either side of where your tie physically fits through. You just want a small portion for this tie to go through. It can be a little bit bigger, which this will be, but that's the reason I didn't go ahead and cut all the way through in one shot. I've cut through just far enough on the first sheet to mark the second sheet. That'll tell me exactly where to do my saw cuts. Now you just stand it up. Okay, these have been pre-treated already. I've used diesel to pre-treat the concrete forms. What diesel does is puts a raw petroleum product on the face of the wood. You can use a proper release agent if you wish. They sell it. Diesel works pretty well. It locks up the surface grain of the wood, makes it somewhat waterproof, and repels concrete. So I've done my cut-through marks. You can see them on the first sheet. You can also see them on the second sheet.